So that's when I had told them, like, look, I can't take this no more. Hey guys, it's Cashley. Okay guys, I'm finally back with another video. It's long overdue. Okay, so as many of you know, I was in the hospital for a while. 28 days to be exact. So a month. Okay? Now 4 weeks, a month, like that's a long time. This video is going to be on my hospital stay, my hospital journey. This video is to help anybody going through what I went through. If you had to stay in the hospital for a long time, I think I'll make another video on like coping with that, and because the emotional side is a whole different story. But what I'm going to cover today is just basically everything that I went through while I was in the hospital, and I will insert some clips in certain areas of clips I have. I am on my new camera, so I hope you guys can tell, and I will be inserting footage that won't be good as this footage. Okay, so this is just going to be my whole journey for anybody who's going through this, or if you just want to know what I went through while I was in there. So on Wednesday, I had a doctor's appointment. My normal, well, I would say it was a normal checkup, but I was already hospitalized a week before this, so they had me coming in more frequently. And so when I went in there and I told them that I was still bleeding from my placental abruption, she sent me straight over to labor and delivery. I was so hurt because Yomi couldn't come in there. I just had to basically say bye to her and Dominique right then and there, and it was sad because I didn't, this time, like the first time I was in there, like I kind of felt like, okay, I'm gonna probably leave. This time I just knew like I was gonna be staying for a while. And I never thought I would be staying for a month. I didn't even think I could stay that long, but I did. So yeah, I went over straight from my appointment. They gave me an IV, they gave me blood draws, lab work. Now mind you, this is over a month ago. Kylo is 2 weeks now, and well, my baby is 2 weeks now, and so this is like 6 weeks ago. So I'm reading notes, okay? So yes, they talked about blood transfusions because I was losing a lot of blood, and they didn't know if my body could keep up with that. They were constantly monitoring the baby. They had me on these monitors, and the first days were the worst because they didn't let me get off the monitors except to pee, like literally. And then I still had them strapped on. Later on, I did get a belly band, so I didn't have to have the straps, but the straps were literally leaving marks on me, digging in my skin because they were so tight because my stomach was so small. So any little movement I did, the heartbeat like went off. The baby's heartbeat went off. So yeah, the first day I said I'm trying not to cry the whole time. They're telling me I'll be here forever. I couldn't eat. They didn't let me eat until like the kitchen had already closed. But my nurse, she was great, and she like went to the cafeteria and got me some food. And let me tell you, that was the best food I had the entire time I was there. Like, because the food that they serve in the cafeteria is not the same food they serve on a regular. And the food that they gave me, bruh, when I tell you, the food was just gross, okay guys? Like after a week, like honestly, the first time I stayed in the hospital, I was like, oh, the food is cool. After a week of that food, it's like the food starts to smell bad, the food just tastes bad, like you don't want it no more, you have no appetite for nothing, eating snacks and stuff, because no. But anyways, I had a headache, my legs hurt. I don't know why my legs hurt, I don't remember that. I said I was lonely. They didn't want to check my cervix. My nurse told me don't let anybody check your cervix at all. And this is Oh, this is pertinent to the story. No checking my cervix. They never checked my cervix the entire time I was there. Though when they was weighing my blood, because they weighed my pads, they were like, it seems kind of watery. Like, and I noticed too when it would come out, it would just kind of run out. Like, I would feel like gushes of it. But anyways, I'm going to keep reading. So Thursday, that's my second day there. Now, I'm not going to go through each day, but these first days, I kind of like, I didn't know how long I was going to be there, and I kind of was like, I'm going to leave tomorrow. I'm going to leave tomorrow. I'm going to leave tomorrow. So I kind of like wrote everything out. I started taking prenatal iron and stool softener every morning, and then I took iron in the afternoon and a stool softener at night. Those are the medications I took every day throughout my whole entire stay. Now, they did a swabbing test to check, because they didn't know when I was going to have the baby. I could have had the baby the next day. I could have had the baby 3 months later. They did the test that you check for, I forget what it is, but it's something that a lot of pregnant women have, a lot of women have, and they just give you antibiotic before you have the baby so that the baby doesn't get it. So they did that. They did blood draws. I said MFM asked if I had a nursing background, because pretty much before I went to the hospital, before anything, I did a lot of research. Before they even knew what was going on with me, I did a lot of research, because I just wanted to be up to date on my care. I wanted to know that what they were doing was the best for me, and I wanted to kind of be 2 steps ahead of them, you know what I'm saying? So I did a lot of research. So everything that they were telling me, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah. Because I already knew, but I'm just like listening to them because they're the doctors. But pretty much knew everything. So it got better, I said. I got a break from the monitors. Probably like 1 hour. I think they changed me to being on the monitors for 8 hours and being off for 1 hour. And then that went on for a couple of days. Dom spent the night that night, and I couldn't eat past midnight because I had the glucose test on Friday. So then I took the glucose test. I think they gave me fruit punch. The last time I had orange, and that was cool. And then they gave me fruit punch, and that was cool. I don't be seeing why people, like, it is dry, and like when you drink a lot of it, it's just like, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad as people be making it seem. So did that, more blood draws. Now let me tell y'all, my arms, bro, well, they're healing now, but my arms, like, I had so many pricks and pokes and prods and ripped skin. I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm not used to this camera. Okay, I don't know, but let me tell y'all, I had so much from those needles, and they would have to check me multiple times, swimming in my arm with the needle, like, hold on, I think I got it. Like, bro, when I tell you, I wanted to fight some of them nurses because they didn't listen to me when I told them it's not gonna work like that. Like, I don't know, I just think that I could be a phlebotomist at this point, because how many times they had to poke me over that stay. And then I finally got we'll talk about that later. Anyways, so yes, glucose test, blood draws, pills. I put in here Dr. McAhole, and it's because she would not let me do anything, and she wasn't my doctor. And it's so funny because it turned out that like I liked her, and she's actually a good doctor in the long run. And she actually delivered my baby. Like, that's so funny, because in the beginning I like did not like her, because she was just making me stay on the monitors. I'm like, I don't need to be on these monitors, which I didn't. But it's just like, she was just being precautious, and my doctor was more chill and laid back. So going from like, it's like going from a calm parent to a strict parent. You're like, I hate this parent, you know? But she really did what was best for my care, and that's so funny. I wrote that in here. It says less bleeding. Because every time I just rested, it would be less bleeding, but I just knew that it was going to build up and then eventually come out, which some days it ended up being like that. It ended up coming out harder. I hope I look alright, because like, I don't I don't think I like how I look way back here. Okay, anyways. Yes, my nurse gave me extra breaks, and that was one of my favorite nurses. And I probably should have gave her like one of those little award things that you write out for things, but they didn't even come to me and like give me anything. I'm gonna cut that part out because y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I said no visitors. Dang, that's sad. Saturday. So Saturday, it says save your nurse gets me 2 hours off monitor. That's funny. So y'all know I said I was on 8 for 8 and off 2. Yes, and Dominique would notice like being on those monitors made me like you're not you when you're on the monitors, like, okay, because I don't know, and I couldn't control it. I just hated being on them because you like feel like you're shackled. But anyways, I said pad from the night before, a little heavy, breakfast, pills. They told me Yomi could visit for 2 hours. I got to visit my daughter literally 2 hours once a week. Like that, when they first told me that, I was so sad and hurt. Like, but anyways, I said I was going to talk about emotions in a different video. IV. I had to get a new IV every 4 days. And at night, and y'all know how many days I was there, and it was just hectic. Then that Sunday I had got a shot, the Tdap shot. It was really sore, but that was it. I did some yoga, even though I was probably not supposed to, but I was dying in there, literally dying in there. So that Monday, the baby had heart decel. That was like the first time on the monitor that he had that. And actually closer to my pregnancy, to my birth, he did start having more and more heart decels. And I had to get more blood draws that day. Removing band-aids hurt. Yeah, so if the baby had a heart decel while I was on the monitor, they would literally make me stay on. Some nurses would make me stay on for a whole nother hour. And some nurses would just make me stay on for like 20 minutes. It just depended who I had as a nurse. So that was kind of bad because like the nurses that follow protocol, like even though that's what you're supposed to do or you think you're supposed to do, it was annoying because I had more leeway with other nurses, and then I would just be looking at you like, why are you making me do this? But I just try to remember that they're just trying to do their job. So yeah. Okay, so Wednesday, I guess they gave me they had gave me an ultrasound, and they said that my fluid was low, but they don't do, so this is when I have been here a week. They told me that they don't do deliveries for low fluid until 37 weeks. So, but if you have low fluid, that probably means your fluid been leaking and you're going to go into labor earlier anyway. But the thing about that is, when they told me that, I was just thinking like 37 weeks. So I'm going to be here until 37 weeks. And honestly, that kind of gave me some glimmer of hope, because it was like, it went from 40 till I was 40 weeks till I was 37 weeks. I think when I went in, I was like 25, almost 26 weeks. Yeah, I was almost 26 weeks because I had him at 30 weeks. So that means I was there for 4 weeks. But yeah, they told me that, and I was like, okay, that's a little bit sooner. Then when I was cussing here because I would be so mad about people in my IVs giving me new IVs. I hated that. But on that Wednesday, we also had a support group. So the support group, it was good. It was what kind of like made me realize like I'm not here on my own. Other people have other issues going on, and you know, even though our issues are different, everybody's gonna think, oh, I'm going through the worst, but in reality you're not, and somebody else is going through something, and they're probably going through stuff that you don't even know. They're just telling you certain things. So a lot of people had other kids, but I was just like, I only got one kid and I'm a stay-at-home mom, so it's rough being away from her for this long. Like I've never been away from my daughter for more than whatever. like a weekend, and that was only once. So it's just crazy. And but the support group did help. It was every Wednesday, and then I made it to like one movie night on a Thursday or whatever. We had a movie night, and that was nice. It's like they tried to do things, but sometimes you wouldn't even want to be around people, but you would just go, and it would kind of make you feel better. And yeah, you know. I said ordered lunch late. She tried to make it my dinner. Oh hell no. I swear, like, it was just some stuff that like happened in there that I don't know, it was just funny. Like, cause I had got back from the group late, so I ordered my lunch at like 4 or something, and she was like, dinner starts at 4, so this is your dinner. I'm like, what? And I wasn't gonna argue. I was just like, okay, but I didn't eat lunch, whatever. She's like, okay, well, I'll write it in this time, but just know blah 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 blah. Okay, so anyways, a lot of the stuff I'm reading, it might be choppy because I'm reading it and it's about emotional things, and like I said, I was gonna make a whole nother video on the emotional side of it. So I guess this night, this is like when I had been here like a week, I started having contractions, and one of the nurses wanted to run fluids, but then I went to the bathroom. Well, I moved my monitor to my contractions because every time the monitors would not pick up my contractions, and I'm like, I know I'm having a contraction, it's not picking it up. And I finally got it to a spot where it picked it up, and then the nurse wanted to run fluids because I was having contractions. She was like, well, go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, I came back, and then they stopped. So how I know when I was going into labor is because I would pee, and then right after I would pee, I would still get contractions, and I'm like, okay. So I would Google stuff, and somebody was like, yeah, I was having contractions for like 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, so I had the baby within like 2 weeks. And the thing is, I knew. If you watch my labor and delivery vlog, my doctor is like, you did not think you was having a baby this morning, and I was like, no.
Didn't think this was gonna happen today, did you?
No. But in reality, I did, because like if you also watch that video, Dominique had said like she knew like when she wrote the name on the board that he was gonna come, and I had wrote the name on the board the day like I had went into labor, and I was just like, I just knew, you know, like people say they know stuff, like I literally just knew. Okay, I just knew. I said, wanted to run fluids, having contractions, another IV blew, new IV twice. The first IV never works. IV was in a terrible spot. I don't know. Oh, that was probably, no. I had one right here that was a terrible spot. I had one right here that was a terrible spot. I don't know. Felt faint. That was the first time I felt faint, and it was probably because I was losing a lot of blood. I said the lunch ladies can't hear my dessert. Because they kept bringing me the wrong dessert. Okay, I said Rice Krispie treat. They brought me apple crisp something. Like, what? Food smell. So this is when the food started to stink, and I didn't like it. And it's crazy because somebody in my group has said that. And then I'm just like, I don't know if this is subconscious because they said it, but I can't get it out of my head, and it really does stink. So I stopped ordering sides at that point because it was like the broccoli was stinking, like the sides would just be gross at that point. So that Saturday, more labs, new nurse, because for the most part I was getting like the same nurses, but then I started getting new nurses. And when you get a new nurse after you've been there for a while and you in a routine of something, and they kind of like come in there switching it up, doing their own thing, or asking all these questions that you already answered 5 other times to 5 other nurses, and explaining your story 10, you know, it gets old. Okay, it gets really old. So I don't know. Sunday, another blood draw. Baby heart rate drops more often this week. Notices up and down. Nurses, they always said my baby heart rate was great, but I just felt like the more that it dipped down, the closer I was to labor, which is true. I said I fell. So this must be when Yomi came, and let me tell y'all, so Yomi and Dom came to visit me, and they like take me out in a wheelchair to the waiting room, And then we go on the elevator, go downstairs. But I think we had came back up at this point. Or either, yeah, we had came back up. So Dom's like pushing me. And then Yomi's like playing, the elevator opens up. And then she's like in the doorway of the elevator. And I'm like, Yomi. And she just like kind of standing there or trying to get in the elevator. I don't know what she was doing. And then Dominique was moving too slow for me. And he's behind me on a wheelchair. So I get up. And like it's instinct for me to run. I have on slippers. I have on hospital socks. I like try to run over there, bro. I fall to my knees and slid. When I tell y'all I had skid marks on my stuff, yo. It was so funny because all I could do was laugh. But Dominique is just like, no, that's why they don't let you do anything. Because why would I do that? When I tell y'all, just from that little bitty sprint, my stomach hurt. Because mind you, I haven't been moving for a while. Like, I've been on bed rest a while, and then I was in the hospital for over a week. So strict bed rest for a week. But I haven't been doing anything physical for months. So it's just like, I don't know, that was just funny. Okay, but anyways, the next Monday, heavy bleeding night before, so I think that's because I failed. My iron was low. It was like, it went from 10 to 9 to 8. So that was thinking I needed transfusion. But they gave me an iron transfusion instead of a blood transfusion. Iron transfusion so I could make my own iron to make my own blood. So yeah, it burned because my IV was like right here, so it kept, when I went like this, it would push into my skin, so the iron kind of dripped on the outside and it burned a little, but inside I just kind of felt it going in. It didn't really feel like nothing. I said iron transfusion burns cold. Doesn't change levels for a while. New IV doesn't change levels for a while because, like, even though you get the iron transfusion, it still takes like some time. It said 2 weeks to know, like, for it to show change in your blood levels. New IV in hand, 2 tries, and it felt weird. I had IVs everywhere, y'all. The next day I was gassy. More blood draws. Like, when I tell y'all this stuff sucked. The hematologist, he kept checking different things in my blood to make sure it wasn't nothing weird going on, and like I didn't have any weird disease or nothing, but everything was pretty much checking out. Wednesday, 2 pokes, more blood draws. I said I definitely look like an addict. I've had so many hoes in me. Cool group, so that was my second group. So at this point I had been here for 2 weeks. The next day, Thursday, I said mentally terrible, physically terrible, just don't feel good, maybe from my heavy bleed last night. Then that Saturday, IV, 1 poke, so that was good. More blood draws. Sunday and Monday, heavy bleeding, contractions more frequently. So this is leading up into 2 weeks before my delivery. So that's when I'm saying my contractions start picking up. And then I had another blown IV. So that's when I had told them, like, look, I can't take this no more. I don't want no more IVs. And I'm so kind of shy. I kind of told the nurse, like, what if I don't want another one? Like, what if because I don't want to be defiant or anything. And she was like, well, if you tell me that you don't want another one and you refuse it, and then I can't really force you to get one. I was like, well, I refuse to have one. And she was kind of scared, like, because she knew there was like a long-term one that they could put me on, like one that could stay in me for longer than 4 days. And plus, all the ones that they kept doing, it would last like 1 day, 2 days, because they would keep blowing, and they're not, like, I have little veins, so it would be hard for them to get it in and whatever. So she like set up all this stuff because she's like, if you go into labor, you're gonna need it right away. So I'm kind of scared, but hopefully you can make it through the night. And when I tell y'all, that was the best night ever, the best shower ever. I didn't have to worry about no IV bandage falling off. Like, that was the best that night. Like, cause I was just like, I can't do this no more. So yeah, the next day I got the it's a catheter type of thing. And it was called Endurance IV. It's a catheter type of thing. It goes in your arm and I don't know. But it was better than I expected. Like, it didn't even hurt as much as my IVs hurt. Now, when I tell y'all, like, they came in, it was like a half sterile procedure. They had to put like a drape, and the drape went over my face, and that's when I thought I was in surgery, and it kind of scared me, as they had like ultrasound to find the vein, and it looked cool. Like, I wish I could have recorded that. And then they like went in slowly so it didn't hurt, and she could see what she was doing. Kind of hurt a little when they were like pushing because it didn't go straight through, but it was way better than any of my IVs because my IVs were so terrible and so hard to get in. So that was cool. I said I wore sets for the first time. So these like things you put on your legs, I was supposed to be wearing them for a while, but you put them on your legs and they kind of like compress and they like get the blood flow. Okay, yo, I'm working again. So I don't know where I left off, but on Thursday I said my ultrasound hurt because when they gave me an ultrasound to measure how far the baby was, they were like pushing into my stomach. And it hurt, and I would tell her it hurt, and she just kept doing it. And like when I told my doctor the next day, she was like, it could have been a baby part or whatever, but I'm like, nah, because like I know, like I would know. Like, I felt a baby part before and then it hurt, but the way this was hurting and like where it was hurting, it was like something's up. So this is a Thursday before I had the baby. So they did the ultrasound, and when they measured the baby, he was only 2 pounds 14 ounces. He was in the 17th percentile, and it was like, we don't deliver babies until they're we don't worry until they're in the 10th percentile. And so it was kind of worrying me though, because my baby had never measured behind. He never measured behind. And yeah, I was just like, either that's not right or, well, actually I believed them, but I was just like, something's wrong then. Like, he's not getting enough nutrients and stuff, and I don't know why y'all aren't more concerned. But anyways, so yeah, my ultrasound hurt. The baby was in the 17th percentile. They changed the dressing every Thursday on the med line, so they changed the dressing for it. Then Friday, I got my lab draws through my IV catheter. Like, they could take blood out of it and everything. Like, I should have had that since day one. And the sad part is, like, when I had got it, I was about to leave soon, and so I didn't really get to use it that much. Oh, and then that Friday, on Valentine's Day, a little ball of mucus had fell out, okay? And I was like, that's weird, because it was like mostly white. And I told the nurse, because I never tell them anything. I have them look at anything. But I had them look at it. She was like, oh, I don't think it's nothing, it's just mucus. And I was like, my baby come, my baby come. I tell ya, that's what I swear, that's what I thought. So I think I wrote his name on the board that Friday, or no, maybe it was Saturday. I wrote his name on the board. But that Saturday I had more cramping, more contractions, less blood, and more mucus. It was more of a mucusy texture. I had stronger contractions, and I told the nurse. I never tell the nurse anything. So these contractions were like kind of painful, and I kept monitoring them myself. And I told y'all this in my labor and delivery vlog. And so they put me on the monitors, and the doctor who, Dr. McAsshole, and the same person who delivered my baby, told them to check me, and I was kind of nervous because like I said, when I first got there, they said never let anybody check your cervix. So when she went to check my cervix, I was 3 centimeters and I was 80% effaced. So they gave me a precardia to slow down the contractions, and they put me on magnesium, and they gave me a steroid shot to do that whole process again. But when I was 3 centimeters, she was like, I don't know if you're growing and you're 3 centimeters or if you've been this for a while, because we never checked you. So that's where I'm gonna end it, because that's pretty much it leading up into my, labor and delivery. And I will do a labor and delivery story time with you guys, because it's kind of, fun to do. It's different than the vlog, because the vlog only shows what we recorded. It doesn't show like the whole story. So we will do that. But that was pretty much my hospital stay, at least like what I went through physically. Up and down. My bleeding was up and down. And I was the type of person with my placental abruption, I bled every day. People don't bleed every day with theirs. Some people bleed once and then it just goes away. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I went through while I was in the hospital. The worst part was the IVs. I took my medications every day. I had groups on Wednesday, and I found myself doing things to keep myself busy. I'm going to make a video on that too, like what can you do if you're stuck in the hospital. I did a puzzle. I did word searches, watch YouTube videos. I don't know, guys. I'll make a video on that too. But that was my hospital stay. This video is pretty long. I will try to make it short as possible. We're cutting it down for you guys. But if you guys want to see more, know more, learn more, like this video. And if you don't want to see more, I'm still going to post it. Because I am going to post, like this was the first video in this series, like of my hospital stay. And I don't know what order, but I'm going to do my labor and delivery vlog. I'm going to do, I'm still going to do, even though you guys already know my baby's name, I'm going to do like a name video where we got it from and how we came up with that. I just have like several videos that I want to do. And then after I get them all, because I'm about to get baked. After I get them all, I'm going to do more things focusing on the NICU, because right now Kylo's been in the NICU for 2 weeks and he'll be in the NICU for at least 4 more weeks and possibly 8 more weeks. Sheesh, I didn't even realize that. But yeah, possibly 8 more weeks. So I will definitely show you guys that journey as well. And that's all, guys. Bye.